night with memories of Larry Bird's retirement on Thursday. Larry showing up for the game on Friday in the stands with Dave Gavitt, looking up to see number 33 raised to the rafters. Once they started playing basketball, D. Brown gets in the passing lane over to Robert Parrish, and the Celtics are out early, 16-9. Reggie Lewis had a great night, 28 points off the screen for the jumper. Boston up 11. Armin Gilliam, though, off the bench this time, had 13, cut the Celtic lead to 9. Andrew Lang gets the dunk, and the 76ers are within 1. But D. Brown takes his time and buries the 3 to put the Celtics back up by 4. Kevin Gamble goes coast to coast, and it's 54-47 Boston. Percy Hawkins also can shoot it from out as he hits the 3. Philly down by 8 at this point, 69-57. And then Dawkins the pull-up jump shot. Celtics, though, still clinging to an 8-point lead. Reggie, the nice move around Manute Bol, and Boston's up 77-70.
I don't know how he got that one away.
And then Weatherspoon uses the pick and roll, goes strong for the dunk, and the 76ers get within 5 at 79-74. Hawkins with the drive, and he's fouled, and suddenly it's a 1-point game. But Xavier McDaniel off the bench with a big effort for the Celtics. That put Boston up by 5. And when Robert Parrish cut in here and went all the way for the dunk, the Celtics were back in control and won at 105-93.
Yeah, things happen out there, and for whatever reason, it's a mysterious team. And we work so hard, we build up a lead, and then all of a sudden we find ways to give it back up. And against a team like the Sixers and like a team that's coming in here on Sunday, Golden State, they can put points on the board. And if you keep giving them opportunities, you're going to come up on the short end. We got lucky tonight.
We always find the hard way to win the ball games. There's no easy way out for us. We just have to make sure that we work on that. And when we get teams down, we have to make sure that we finish them off, because we know if we had a better team out there, the results probably would have been different for us.
We won that game all 4 times tonight. We came out with the intensity that we wanted to play with at the beginning of the game, and had a chance to go up like 15 points in the end of the first, and ended up having a 7-point lead going into the second quarter, and then we were back into a fight again. So we can't do that. We can't get complacent when we get big leads. We just have to keep playing hard and having the same thing in the second half.
Golden State a little bit undermanned on Sunday afternoon. No Chris Mullin and no Billy Owens. Kevin Gamble tries to capitalize early, but Golden State is up by 2 at this point. Rick Fox gets some minutes and responds. Boston goes up by 1, 15-14. Tim Hardaway, though, always good for a bunch of points, and it's 24-23. The Warriors take the lead. And then off this Xavier McDaniel miss, Hardaway doing the rebounding and getting the break going. Jeff Grayer eventually gets the bucket, and it's 30-25 Golden State. Kevin Gamble, though, the little fall away. Boston gets within 1. Reggie Lewis the miss, but Robert Parrish off the boards. Gamble from deep, and the Celtics pull ahead by 6. Tim Hardaway behind the back to Sprewell. The Warriors down by 4, and then Hardaway the drive. He ties it at 56. Kevin McHale in off the bench, the little spin move for the layup. Boston ahead by 7 at this point. And then Reggie Lewis with the jump shot from Kevin Gamble. And Boston up 6, 75-69. Sprewell, though, hits a 3 to cut the Celtic lead 2-3, 75-72. Marshalunas the drive at 78-74. But watch this play here. D. Brown. Yes! Along the baseline. Celtics go up by 6. And then big defense down the stretch really saved the Celtics. Catch the block coming up here by Robert Parrish as he gets back into the play. And the Celtics hold on for a 5-point win.
I have no complaints about the game. We played very well, very hard, and thought I had a chance at it. But if we were going to play this strategy, which is, I'll admit, not good basketball, I hate to play it, and I normally don't. But if you're going to play that kind of basketball, then you've got to make your free throws, and you've got to play a turnover-free game. And the free throw hurt us tonight, definitely. But a couple of turnovers, too, really hurt us bad.
I didn't get tired at all. This is one game where I didn't get tired at all. Reggie barely broke a sweat out there. And, these games, I don't like playing these games, but it's always good to win.
That was great. That was a great block. Chief came right in the game. He'd been sitting down a little bit, rose up, made a huge block, and really, because, I knew even when we were up 5, 6, 7 points, it was going to come down to be a close game. There's no rhythm in a game like that. It's just kind of a methodical, walk it up. The Chiefs' play was huge.
Porter on the bench came up with that big play as the Warriors were looking to tie the game late, but the Chiefs just would not let it happen.
Here, all know about Larry, but I always knew about his playing just from watching him and admiring him, but it's hard to believe, but he's probably a better person than he is player, and that's saying a lot because he's one of the best players of all time.
Well, Larry Bird has had many ovations and accolades over the past 13 years here in Boston, but the party thrown last Thursday night, that was the best of them all.
Larry's one request from last August was he said, whatever we do, I want it to be a very special night for the fans. I need to give back to them everything they gave me for 13 years.
Remember when Bird stole the ball against the Pistons? Remember the duel with Dominique in Game 7 in '88? Remember the three-pointer that finished Houston in '81? Of course, Larry's wife, Dinah, is here, along with son Connor. There you go, there's Connor. And Larry's mother, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first of many times tonight, Larry Bird. The 1981 world champion Boston Celtics.
Great being back. Unfortunately, they gave me the gift, Larry, so I guess I'm going to take it home with me. It was a thrill really playing with you. And it was me and you, first of all, before you challenged any of these guys in the NBA, was me and you going heads up every day. And all I remember, them 20-footers raining down on me, so. And I always remember thinking like, boy, this white guy really can play, can't he?
This team was very special because there's only one guy who had success in college, and that's Rick Roby. And you know that they're really pros at Kentucky because they all get paid anyway. So we felt very honored because none of us really had success in college, and this team won a championship, and it was really great because it's the first time we won something any of us has won anything, and it's very special. So this team was very special. There's no question about it.
The 1984 world champion Celtics.
Larry, what we have here is a watch that I want to present to you, and I hope it gives you some sense of feel for how we feel about what you've done. Now I know why your back has been hurting. You had to carry us for all of those years. Thank you.
Let's relive that remarkable season of 1985-86.
So he's very upset with that, so I diagrammed the play. He says, heck with the play, Case. Give me the ball and tell all the rest of the guys to get out of the way. I said, shut up, Larry. I'm the coach here. Okay. All right. Then you should take the ball out, give it to Kevin, then you throw it to Larry, and everybody get the hell out of the way.
DJ probably wasn't our best scorer. He probably wasn't our best defensive player. But what DJ did, he did a little bit of everything. And what he did good. DJ wasn't the greatest shooter in the world, as we know. But when the game got down to the last minute or 2 minutes, if the game was tied, DJ seemed like he always came through for us. He always made a big steal. He was always in the right place at the right time.
Well, first of all, Larry said a lot of these things because it was I who had the ball all the time. And to keep me happy, basically he would say stuff like this because he knew I was going to throw him the ball.
The greatest front line in the history of the NBA, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, and Larry Bird.
Robert and I knew from day one, the thing I knew from day one, it was Larry's team. You know, and Larry ran the team, and we knew where we fit in. Larry was multi-dimensional. Chief and I were finishers. We'd run down that box. I tell you right now, Larry was still out there standing right in that corner. I'd get my butt down that box and get the ball because he gave it to you where you needed it. And you know, so we knew that right from the start. There wasn't, but there was just a mutual respect amongst all three of us, and that's what made it work.
Please welcome now the Laker player who, along with Larry, defined a new level of competitive excellence in the NBA, Earvin Magic Johnson.
He's had more success in here than anybody else has because he knew how to work the crowd. He knew how to take the crowd out of a game. But he is by far the best player that I've ever played against and really ever seen. I can't include all the other great players because I never really watched professional basketball. But Magic, there's one thing. We can agree upon that we're retired now, right?
Right.
We probably will never come back again.
No.
But I want to ask you, then will you get the hell out of my dreams?
And you only lied to the fans and all the people in the world one time. And you know what that lie was? You don't remember, do you? Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird. And so I don't care how many people, how many players, there will never ever be another Larry Bird. So you take that to the bank. I love you, I respect you, and I admire you.
Time to raise the banner to the Garden rafters.
But I leave tonight, and all I can say is thanks. Looking out here tonight and seeing all these people in here makes you feel like you're on top of the world. See, I'm a proud individual anyway, but I'm also proud to be playing for the best organization that has ever assembled. And thank you, Red Auerbach. Thank you so much. So I say good night, Boston, and may God bless each and every one of you. Good night.
Small town, oh, small
special edition of Celtics Weekly. It'll begin at 7 o'clock on the 15th for 1 hour, and during that show, I'll have a chance to talk in depth, one-on-one with Larry Bird. And then at 8 o'clock, we will replay Larry's original retirement press conference.
Whatever you hear from now to next year or the next years or whatever, I will not be coming back to play basketball. I discussed it with my doctors, and they assured me that this is the right decision, and it's something that had to be done.
And then after that at 9 o'clock, you will see a rebroadcast of Larry Bird Night at the Boston Garden, and you don't want to miss that. From 11 to 12:30, a replay of Larry's last game in the Boston Garden in the Eastern Conference semifinals back in 1992. That game originally aired on Sports Channel. And then at 12:30 late night, the post-Larry Bird Night press conference, never before seen on television.
You know, whenever anyone affiliated with the Celtics talks about the franchise, whether they be a player or a member of the administration, one word always comes up, and that word is family. A family that is rich in tradition and history. We got a chance to meet up again with some members of the Celtics family who look forward to the times they can all get together.
Well, I think that we were extremely close. You've got to realize there were only 8 teams in the league when all of us were playing, and we spent many hours together. Like a flight from here to St. Louis was 8 hours, and we'd spend 6 hours in a airport lounge waiting to get on a flight, and we were friends, and we respected one another. And at our age, it's nice to get back together because next year, so one of us might not be here. When I first came to the Celtics, I was a guard, and I was playing behind Bob Cousy and Bill Sharman, who were all-stars. So I certainly wasn't going to play much there, and then I wasn't big enough to play forward because of my size. So I went to the service and came back. At that time, we had Russell, and Russell covered up all my mistakes, and I could play forward or guard, and Red just chose to use me that way, and I'm very thankful, you know, to be considered one of the first 6 men. It is very gratifying.
The mystique is the individual players. That's the mystique. Russell, Havlicek, Dave Collins, just going down the line to each player, John Thompson, you name him, Sam Jones. The mystique is the players. And trying to explain the mystique, you know, well, you got the guard, and you got the hold on the floor, you got Red turning the heat on and playoffs. Now that's a mystery. But the mistake is mistake. The mistake is with the players.
Well, anytime that retired players can get an opportunity of coming back to Boston to reunite all of the ex-players, it's fantastic. We look forward to it. I enjoy being a part of what the Celtics put on. Just last night, we retired Larry's number, and it was a very exciting time. We certainly appreciate what he brought to the Celtics and brought to the NBA itself. So anytime I'm back at the Garden, I bring back special feelings. It was very emotional. I knew it was very emotional for Larry. It was a very, very long evening, and you try just to hold in your emotions to get through the evening. And I thought it went well. I had reflections on when number 10 went up in the rafters, but I was very, very proud of the fact that Larry went out very, very dignified, and he was a great player for us. Well, right now I have my own business in Rochester, New York. I'm on the speaking circuit. I find time now to get back to a few games with the Garden. I spend a lot of time with my children now. I'm the proud father of 6 children. So now that I'm retired, it gives me a chance to do a lot of other things.
You know, that club, the 81 team, we were so close, and a lot of us have gone our own ways, and some of them I hadn't seen for about 8 years, and it's just great to get with everybody and be able to spend 4 or 5 days up here. And you know, this is an area that I had a whole lot of fun, a lot of great memories. But I always tease Bird. I said, you know, Larry, I got the last Kentucky scholarship, and you were supposed to go there. I was drafted before you because you were junior eligible, and then I started in front of you, but he's made a whole lot more money than I ever made. Well, I live in Lexington, Kentucky right now. I just bought a home in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm in business back there in the allergy relief products. I've got retail stores in Louisville, Lexington, Florence, Kentucky, and Clay City, Kentucky. So I'm just back there in the bluegrass working.
I think to the tribute that they put on, I don't know anything else that could surpass it. You know, for a person getting their number retired, this was the ultimate. 2.5 hours of listening to people tell stories that what people really came to hear about Larry. I think it was great. It really was. I did have a great time. I mean, I've known Larry for a long time, and anything I could do that'll hopefully pay him back for all the time he's given me on the court is only minimal.
I'm a little bit dumbfounded by it. It was interesting as they had both Irvin and Larry up there to realize you've watched two of the greatest players that ever played the game. I almost went into tears, and then when it was over, I'm a little more emotional than Larry. I cried because it's officially over. But he was duly recognized by the organization, and when it's all said and done, the Olympics duly recognized him as one of the greatest players to ever play. As a wordsmith, for a guy who came in the league who barely talked when he got here, I think everybody who was a part of this tonight and through other media will understand that Larry truly appreciated being a part of the organization and felt that the fans were the thing that catapulted him to be one of the greatest players to ever play.
There's very little promotion with this organization. There's no gimmicks, there's no tricks, there's no dancing girls. Although I did see a dog and frisbee show here last weekend. But to have everybody come and sit down and listen to people talk and have the energy level, the excitement level as high as it was, just an incredible moment. And give the operations department of the Boston Celtics, Todd Rosenzweig and Jeff Twiss and Dave Zaccaro, an incredible kudo here because they did it tonight. I'm just really glad that Red Auerbach took that call when I called him at the end of the '85 season. And I knew that I had to get to a championship season or championship team because I was unable to do it myself. And so I looked around and I said, I got to get on Larry Bird's back. And I tell you, I'm the one who's responsible for that back going bad. I'm a heavy load. I hear people talking about, God, I wish Magic and Larry would come back and play again. Those people are greedy. There's nothing left there. Just let them be themselves, let them move on to the next step, which will be even greater in my opinion, because that's just the type of people they are.
Two competitors who are crazy about winning, who knew nothing else but winning. And but then on the other side of that, you got two guys who are friends, who share everything, Connor, Dinah, we talk about family, and we talk about how mom and how's EJ, and then he tell me about his new daughter he just adopted, and we talk about things other people don't get to talk about with Larry because we're friends, see? And like tonight he said, okay, you got to ride over with me.